when I upload this podcast, you have to remind me to tick the explicit.
This is Open Indie, another special episode now over the Christmas holidays because everybody is away or busy with family stuff. So us Open Indies, me, Sarah and Eve, we thought we'd do another special episode where we talk about our favorite indie games we played this year. And we also grabbed our best friend Ben, and he's also an indie fanatic, so he's also got a game he wants to describe and explain to you what he played this year in 2021. So guys, who wants to start?
I think I'll start.
Okay.
This is Eve. Nice to talk to you. Usually only hear Sarah. But now, since it's a special occasion, I thought I would also say hello to you guys and thank you for an amazing year. And what we planned to do today is a short mini-sode to just tell you what our favorite indie game of the year was and what we are looking forward to next year. And I'll make the start with my favorite indie game of this year, which I only just discovered recently. And this small indie game is called Pawnbarian.
I thought you said porn.
Pawnbarian I discovered a few years back. Pawn like the chess pawn, and Barian like the barbarian. And this describes the gameplay also quite nice because it's the best way I can describe it is like action chess. So you imagine a small chessboard. You have the titular Pawnbarian that you can move like a chess piece. And the clue on this game is that you can only move your character, this Pawnbarian, with the cards that you were dealt. So basically, you have 3 or 4 cards that you can use, which represents usual chess pieces like the rook or the pawn. And this, depending on which card you play, your Pawnbarian can make this move. And the goal of Pawnbarian is to defeat a number of enemies that are also on the smaller chessboard. And to do this, you have to follow the rules that also apply to chess in some way. And the twist to this game is that you can power up your Pawnbarian. So basically, between the levels that you have to complete, you get to pick some new cards, which also allow your Pawnbarian to move in different directions and apply some buffs or some special attacks that you can use. So you can also attack diagonally or vertically or whatever. And with progressing level difficulty, the enemies also become also tougher, of course, and they sometimes have special abilities. So some enemies you can't attack while you're standing right next to them, so you have to attack them from afar, which you can only do with chess pieces like the rook or something like this. And it's a small little action chess game, as I mentioned before.
So it's not really a traditional chess game, but chess with some twists.
Exactly. So okay. You can say it's action chess or chess light, I would say. So okay. It's easy to drop in and drop out. So it's a perfect game for in between. So if you just want to solve a small puzzle, the game is quite nice. I like the style of it. It has a really nice looking graphic style. And what also impressed me was that the game was developed by one guy. He had a previous version of it on itch.io online for a few years back. And now this year, I think he made it into a full game. The guy is called Jan Wojtecki. I think he's a Polish indie developer. And strong recommendation from my side.
Would you recommend it also for people who don't like chess as much? Because I'm not a chess player at all. You think I would like it?
I think you could enjoy it. So even if you don't play chess, I think it's a nice start into chess. I like chess, but I don't play very good. I'm not a very good player, but it's definitely something. If you like chess, I think you will definitely enjoy it. But even if you don't like chess, it's easy to pick up and to learn because the game is very accessible and the chessboard is not like this huge board that you know from traditional chess, but it's a shrunk down version of chess.
Okay.
With a nice twist. And it gets bonus points for the name and the title screen, which is quite cool. So you have to look it up. I think he will enjoy it.
Yeah, I look into it, definitely.
So a high coolness factor.
Yes, exactly. Definitely.
So Ben, what's yours?
I want to talk about the game Phantom Doctrine. It's a game kind of XCOM. So turn-based strategy game where your agents roam around an area and you have to kill all the enemies. But the refreshing thing about Phantom Doctrine, it's based in the Cold War scenario. And you can play either on the USA side or on motherland Russia. Okay. And you have an agent organization and you have to fulfill the goals from your side. They depend on which side you play, they differ a little bit. And then you have the abilities on the map to sneak around and not only shoot the guys, you can also stealth kill them, and then it's more a bit easier because if no one notices you're there, you can much more easier nick all the secrets of the enemy. And then you have to collect some data and so on, which you then can, when you're back at your base, analyze and then find new clues. And then you have this, like in a detective movie or so, or a police movie, if they have this big board with lots of papers on it and strings between it, and you have to move the string from here to there, they have the same keyword, there's a connection, and so they have quite a few nice ideas, and I like the scenario because I never played such a game in this scenario.
Would you say it is similar? Is very much similar to XCOM, or it's still something different?
From the gameplay, it's pretty similar. With all these cool and new ideas they have, I'm happy if they would do a Phantom Doctrine 2, if they have a little bit more time and money to finish them perfectly. Now I think I may be half through the game and it's getting repetitive. I'm starting to see all the locations a second or third time. If I have some missions or so where I have to go, in which warehouse or office building, and then, I recognize this building and so on. Therefore, I hope they do a next one with a little bit more time and money for a little more in-depth for all these cool features they have.
So, but if I enjoyed XCOM, I could also enjoy this one.
I enjoyed XCOM and I enjoyed this game too.
It's similar basically when you think about XCOM 1, the remake, and this XCOM 2, it was also scaled up quite a lot. So, and XCOM 2, I've played quite a lot. So Phantom Doctrine, is it on Steam?
It is on Steam, but if just if you liked shooting everything down, in Phantom Doctrine, I find it pretty hard to shoot everything down because reinforcements are arriving soon if you start shooting, and they will keep coming. So it's hard. I like sneaking.
So you can stealth your way through.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
But you have to be pretty cautious with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you save and reload?
No, I never did it. No, I did so much save games, it slowed down the game.
Nice.
It's pretty funny to see when can I sneak up in a turn-based game, to see when can I hit him from behind on the head and then drag him away somewhere. I put a lot of hours so far with this game, and I want to continue.
Sounds great.
Sarah.
Yes.
And your game?
So my favorite game from 2021, which has also been released this year, is Road 96.
I remember that one. Did we interview the animator?
Yes, we did. We interviewed Alicia, the 3D animator from the development studio Digits Art from France. We had them on one of our podcast episodes. And in preparation for the interview, I looked into this game and I liked it really much. And after the interview, I kept going and I played it till the end. And I don't know, I spent a few days playing it, which doesn't sound a lot, but I put many hours into it each day. It's amazing. It's like this road trip story adventure. You don't do a lot. You have some dialogue options you have to choose, and you've got to choose your own way, your own road trip. And there are also some small puzzles you can do, some mini games. And yeah, it's not a huge gameplay, but it's really, really cool. The story is great and the characters are amazing. The overall story is that you play as a teenager and in a fictional country, which looks a bit like the United States, like from the landscape. And also there's this political situation where there's this presidential election coming up with like this really tyrant candidate, like this radical one, and this more moderate candidate you can vote for. And the teenagers in this country, they're unhappy and they want to leave. And that's where your story begins. So you leave home and you want to reach the border and say goodbye to your country. And on your way, you meet several characters. Like you've got these encounters and you don't know what will happen in each one. Like there's one encounter, for instance, where you meet this bank robber couple. Like it's not a couple, but they're two guys, and they're dressed really weird. You think more of SM couple than bank robbers.
When I upload this podcast, you have to remember me, or you have to remind me to tick the explicit. But no, we could get some trouble.
No, but they're dressed really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, you are on a motorcycle with them, and there's this, I don't know, I think we're getting chased by someone and you've got to steer the motorcycle, and that's one of the mini games you have to go through. And I think if you fail this mini game, then it's game over. And then kind of the next episode starts of this game, and you start with another teenager who wants to leave the country and reach the border. So that's how it goes. It's like this episodes always leading through the story. And I think I played 11 episodes. I don't know if there's a chance to play more, but that's where the story ended for me. So I think it's great because this game really, you really feel like you're you're on a road trip, because it's really an adventure where you never know what will happen next or which characters you will actually meet and what you have to do. And there's so many occasions where you are failing and where it's game over, and you don't know when is there a chance that I can fail, or even if I do something wrong, maybe my story still continues. So yeah, it's great. And the soundtrack is absolutely fascinating. It's like this nice ambient music, not only emotional, but also, it depends on which encounters you have, but also this electronic beats or whatever. So it always fits the scenario. And yeah, it's a nice little game.
Yeah.
So if you like story adventures, that's something you really have to be into. And lots of dialogue options and funny characters, nice artwork, definitely. Like I also told the 3D animator, I told Alicia that the art style is great. It's amazing. So yeah.
Not bad. Yeah, I also played, when we prepared for the podcast, I also played one or two teenagers, I think. Didn't make it over the border so far. If I hadn't discovered Pawnbarian, I think this would also be a close contender for my game of the year as well. Because as you said, the soundtrack is phenomenal, and also the gameplay itself. I like Life is Strange 1, but only the first one.
Only the first one, yes.
Yeah, the other ones were, in my opinion, complete crap.
Totally.
Yeah.
But this one was gave me again this vibe from Life is Strange. So definite recommendation from my side as well.
I watched your stream
Yeah.
from Road 96.
Yeah.
69.
And 96.
96?
I also, that's something I also have to think about, because in German you say 69, but it's 96 in English.
Yeah, you switch numbers in German. I don't know why.
I don't know either. Strange.
Either way.
I watched your stream about the game, and it looks really interesting. So you have these teenagers, and everyone can get a different story, and you have to let him survive, not die on the urge to flee the country. And that's definitely the next game after I finished Phantom Doctrine. I want to play.
Yeah, I can really recommend it. It's a great game.
So since the year is coming to an end, 2021, we can make a big check mark.
There will be a next one.
There will be, I think, if my calculations are correct. We're nearing 2022, and this gives us an opportunity to talk about the games that we are looking forward to.
So I start because I have the most expected one, or the biggest one of us, I think. Because I'm really looking forward for Darkest Dungeon 2.
Yeah.
So you like pain.
Yes.
And suffering.
A lot.
I was surprised, isn't it already in early access?
It is in early access,
okay, cool.
but I didn't play it so far.
Yeah.
I just watched a video, and so far it looks pretty good. It seems it didn't lose its vibe from the first one, but it gets progression. So it's don't want to say it's not that hard or unforgiving. It's still hard and unforgiving, but it seems to have a little bit another pacing. So you're not running in the dungeon. It's okay. Oh, everyone is dead.
Exactly. Yeah, I also saw that there's a second one coming. It was pleasantly surprised, but I'm still too frustrated from the first one to think about the second one, because as you described in the first one, it was like, okay, it goes great, and then it goes, okay, since it was already explicit, it completely goes to shit.
In 1 second, completely to shit. So you can restart.
Yeah, and you're done. And then after you restart 5 times or what, I didn't get the patience to do it again. But yeah, Darkest Dungeon 2, I'm also, I think in 2023 or 4 when I finally finished the first one.
Well, I did some research. Supposedly it's supposed to be released like full version in 2022, but yeah, you never know. I don't think the devs know at this point
I'm
either.
full of hope. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think they just see how the early access goes.
Exactly,
And they decide.
which is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But for me, it's also, I played Darkest Dungeon 1 for a few hours, and yeah, I had the same experience like you guys, and I thought, no.
I never finished the first game. I always died early to mid game, but I still had fun with the pain. So
yeah, it's a great game. It's oh god, it's just too hard.
I had the first one, or I put the first one on the Switch, but I'm still struggling with if it's a good idea to play it on a throwable device.
Probably not.
We'll see. Maybe I can tell you next year.
you need some leash for your hand. Such a rubber band that's coming back to you and hitting in the face. So game pain meets real pain.
Yeah, so Darkest Dungeon 2. And Sarah.
Should I? No, you start.
You.
Mine is Stray, if it hopefully comes out in 2022. Like, it's this cat adventure. Yeah, it's another adventure game, but with a cat. I love cats, so this game is probably pretty amazing for me. And it's also the sci-fi setting you have, and I love cats, I love sci-fi, so those two things merged together, perfect. Perfect.
Oh, wasn't it supposed to come out this year?
Yes, I think so, yeah, and they moved it, but that's okay. If they need more time to finish it, I just hope it will be great then. It's also from my French indie studio, Blue 12 Studios, and I think they also got some cats on their team, so they've got some experts, information firsthand. So
they did the programming.
And they also had this gameplay trailer which came out just recently. I think it's still a few weeks back, but before you only had this cinematic trailer and you didn't really know, okay, what's the gameplay like? But now, yeah, it's like typical adventure. I don't think it's an RPG. It doesn't look like it. But yeah, with the cat, you just stray around and go through this sci-fi city. There are no humans, I think. They're just robots, like these, mechs. And I don't know, you can also talk to them. And I think they help you on your way, because as a cat, you want to leave the city for some reason. And you've also got this drone, like this companion who wants to help you, or who's, helping you generally on the way. Also some puzzles you gotta solve. So yeah, it's nice and sweet. And I don't know, I think the setting is really interesting. It's, really fascinates me. So that's something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, from the trailers, so I can't still tell what kind of gameplay we can expect, but I didn't see the latest gameplay trailers.
Yeah.
But
I also skipped some parts. I don't want to spoil myself too much.
It's the same for me.
Yeah, it's like a more jump and run, like you, I don't know, run across some rooftops, and there are also some objects you you push over the edge, like what cats usually do. Or there's also this couch you gotta scratch.
So you have to be a pretty normal cat and doing catty things.
Just with a drone. And yeah,
it looks cool. Well, it sounds cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So 2022, do they have a release date yet?
No. It says early 2022, I think. So
So summer.
Yes.
Speaking of summer, my recommendation, or the thing I'm looking forward to in 2022, is called Midnight Fight Express.
Yeah.
It's on Steam. On the Steam page, it also only says very vaguely summer 2022. And it's a game that I discovered on a trailer on the, don't know, what was it, Games Developer Conference or something like this, where it was introduced.
Didn't I send you the trailer?
But I saw a trailer from it. It looked really, really cool. So basically, it's an isometric brawler, I would say, with really smooth movement. So basically, you run around, beat up people, and the fighting styles look quite interesting.
Is it like karate or something? Or
also karate. I think you also can use guns. There are different fighting styles that you can apparently develop, but up to now I only got the trailer, which was nice, and I like isometric stuff.
Is it fixed in one area, so like one boxing area, or is it like early the Double Dragon like, and you're running around in an area and beating your way up from one side to a lane to another one, and then at the end there's the end boss?
Hard to tell. So on the trailer I couldn't say. So basically you have areas, fixed areas as I could see, and then you beat up a bunch of people, but like trailers are, it was cut really tack. So from the art style it looked interesting. The music was quite interesting, and it reminded me a little bit, just a tiny little bit, of Hotline Miami, favorite game.
Your most favorite game of all time.
That's and since it reminded me of it, that it was already instantly on my wish list. The name is a little clunky, so I had to look it up again. So what was the trailer I saw? But now it's on the wish list on Steam.
Yeah, what is the name again?
Midnight Fight Express. Also by a solo developer, maybe that's also worth mentioning. Mm-hmm. Jacob Swindle? Zwindle?
Jacob, tell us your name.
Exactly. If you're listening to this, please tell me how to pronounce your name. I think you're a Polish developer, cool guy. I looked it up, but I can't pronounce your name. Okay, Midnight Fight Express, summer 2022. Look it up on Steam if you want to see the trailer, and it's a brawler with smooth combat mechanics.
Yeah.
That's my pick, or for now, my pick for 2022.
We see end of next year if our hopes for next year will fulfill, and there will be the highlights.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Maybe next year we can, after we played all of our wishes, hopefully when they get released, we can see if our excitement was satisfied.
Gerechtfertigt in German.
Our excitement was reasonable, or if we got disappointed.
Yes, we'll do that. We meet in summertime or whatever, and then we see which games actually also were released by then.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we will also have one or two of those development teams in our podcast episodes next year.
That would be amazing.
So if you're listening again,
just look on our website and contact us if you're interested, talking to us and telling us about your game. Yeah. So any last words?
Well, for now, I would say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy holidays to all of you, all Christmases and Kwanzas and whatever is celebrated around the globe. Use the time to get some rest. Now you have a few tips for some games that you can play in the downtime. Still remember when I was young, putting on my Super Nintendo and playing over the Christmas holiday was a perfect time, and hope you get a chance to do this with your loved ones also this year. And enjoy the holiday, and looking forward to hearing from you soon next year.
Exactly. Yeah. See you next year. And thanks, Ben, for being here.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Now get out.
Hey, that's my couch.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.